What's up, guys? Welcome to Blue Presents podcast where I discuss all things music and how it affects my life. And today, man, I'm talking about 10 underrated bands, man, and we're going to discuss, some bands that I really am passionate about, bands that I really find very interesting, and bands that I don't understand some of why they may not be as successful as they probably should, because some of these bands are some established bands and they've been out there for years. But before I get started into this show, man, once again, I want to thank you guys for joining me every week, man. I want to thank everybody who's listening, everybody who's subscribing, man. Man, tell a friend, share the show with someone, man. I'd really appreciate it, man. I think, what we're doing here is awesome, man. I enjoy everything. I enjoy the interviews. I enjoy doing some shows like today, man. Really just appreciate the support that everyone gives me, and some of your feedback would be really awesome. If you have any show ideas or anything you'd like to tell me about the show, hit me up on social media, man. You got Blue Presents a Podcast on Instagram, on Facebook, and then you've got Podcast of Blue on Twitter, man. Hit me up, guys, man, and let me know how I'm doing, or, man, show me, what you're listening to, or, hell, give me a show idea, man, and we can move forward, and have a conversation, man. This is what I want this to be. I want this to be a conversation. So, when I'm done with this show, hey, man, let me know what your underrated bands are, or maybe some bands you agree that I had on my list, man. So, before we get started with the show, man, I just want to say this week lost a brother in music, man. And we weren't really super close as of the last few years, man. But I know him and his brother were doing big things, man. And I just want to say, it's sad when you hear somebody so young go. It's just difficult to think about, man. And I'm talking about my boy Elliston Santiago, man. And it's just it's truly sad, man. He's a good guy, a guy who came from Puerto Rico, man, and moved to Florida. And I remember listening to the band Promise Never Broken, and just thinking, man, these guys kick ass, and they're from Puerto Rico. And I don't know how I maybe messaged them on MySpace, I think, back in the day. And then found out they were coming to Florida, man. And then they changed their name from A Promise Never Broken to Convalesce. And I don't know if you guys ever heard that before. Very amazingly emotional, atmospheric music. And it was definitely Elliston who really brought that sound together with his drums, man. And it's just really sad for someone so young to lose their life. So if you guys go to my page, I have it in my page. They're got a GoFundMe, man. They're trying to raise some money. So if you guys can, just give a couple bucks, man, to support him and his family in this really sad times. Just rest in peace, brother, man. It's quite sad, man. And I just wanted to get that off my chest, man, right before the show. So yeah, man, just, love everyone, man. Be good to people. Love everyone. All right.
Hey everyone, AJ Pelletier here, and I'm here to talk to you about my podcast, The Roads We've Traveled. It's a podcast where every week I talk to guests and friends from music, art, comedy, and more about their journeys through life, their struggles, their joys, and everything in between. You also get to know a little bit more about me and my journey as well. So if you like podcasts about good conversations about life, or maybe you're just looking to relate to somebody about some things you may be going through as well, then The Roads We've Traveled is the podcast for you. Subscribe to us today on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you guys get your podcasts from. Check us out and subscribe to us on YouTube. And check us out at facebook.com/Roads We've Traveled Podcast. All right, everyone. Thanks.
All right, guys, let's jump into the meat and potatoes of today's show. And I'm talking about 10 underrated bands. I'm talking about some bands that I really enjoy. Once again, this is all my personal opinion. Some people may disagree. Some people may have their own list. Hey, man, let's talk about it. But let's get this list started off, man. And at number 10, man, I've got the After Image from Canada. I first heard them in 2012 with their single, The Seeking Man. And if I'm not mistaken, before this, they had a 2011 EP called Formless. That was absolutely amazing, more technical, more deathcore. But this song, The Seeking, was like a heavier version of a love song, along the lines of like a Kill Switch Engage My Curse. Super fantastic band. They bring that technicality, the versatility there, as well as their vocalist brings a versatility into, great screaming vocals, as well as he has an amazing, almost top tier singing. Absolutely amazing. Their 2015 EP Lyramere, which I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing incorrectly, is also awesome. It has a different version of the song The Seeking. Still a great tight record. You can definitely tell they switched their style up a bit from their Formless EP to this EP. You can kind of see that they're incorporating a more technical, almost R&B like sound as well too. Follow up with their 2018 album Eve, which is absolutely one of my favorite records. Has some really good songs like Deadlines, like Floodgates, man. And if I could give you one song to listen to from them, it would be The Seeking. The Seeking is just so amazing. If you can find the original 2012 single, I would suggest finding that one. That's a really good one. You probably find it on YouTube. There is a difference for their 2015 Lyramere. Once again, probably pronouncing it wrong, but fuck, it's my show. I do whatever the fuck I want. But yeah, The Seeking, awesome song, kick ass. Why do I think they're underrated? I'm gonna say this might be a marketing issue, man. I don't know why. They were hitting right around that time. Veil of Maya was hitting, and Veil of Maya was transitioning to a new sound as well. I'm confused why these guys weren't like, if Veil of Maya was 1, why these guys weren't like 1A. They were along those same lines, maybe not as technical, but still pretty catchy, heavy, good singing, good screaming. Like I said, kind of a little confused on that one. I'm going to want to say Exposure on that one. All right, guys, my number 9 band is a band from Southeast Michigan called Spirit Breaker, man. And I first heard these guys in 2018 with the single Hello Drifter. Came up on my Spotify. Heard the song, thought it was absolutely crushing, brutal, beautiful, just fucking epic, man. And then went straight to their Spotify page and listened to their 2017 album, Human Nature, which has some absolutely amazing songs. Starfall, Black Oak, Merciless being one of my favorite songs off that record, man. And it also seems like, some of the new music they recently released, they're kind of transitioning into more of a, it sounds more metalcore, but his vocals seem to have gotten way more aggressive, and they're absolutely crushing, amazing, melodic, emotional, just really, really, really good band. If you listen to their 2017 album Human Nature, I think it's a little bit more melodic hardcore, way more emphasis on the melodic parts, man. There's a lot of great music as well as some great lyrics from these guys. Now, why do I think these guys are underrated? I'd have to say this isn't everyone's metalcore, man. I don't think everyone latches on to this style. Some people may say it's played out, but I don't think with these guys. Also, if I could give you one song to listen to, you should listen to one of their newer singles, 2020's Pure Fury and Wonder. Sorry, I messed that one up. Pure Fury and Wonder is the one song I should listen to. And like I said, I don't think this is everyone's metalcore band, but if you're looking for something emotional, uplifting, great lyrics, great music, you should definitely check these guys out. All right, guys, my number 8 band is a band called Archers. Now, I first heard Archers in 2015 with their The Hills cover, the Weeknd song, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. Check these guys out, man. Heard their 2015 EP called Cuts and Bruises. Absolutely amazing songs, man. Definitely aggressive, melodic, heavy, man. Good stuff here. With songs like Cuts and Bruises off the Cuts and Bruises EP, and Ask Me Again in 2016, which is an awesome fucking song. These guys seem to be evolving their sound. The other thing too, shout out to big men with great vocals, great screaming, great singing. And if I could give you one song to listen to, it would be Black Lung. Black Lung is absolutely amazing. It's heavy choruses or heavy verses and more of a modern rock sound chorus, which is absolutely amazing. And then today, while I was doing this show, I happened to see that they had another brand new single called Making Eyes, and another song that had a electric pop feel that was really, really cool, and then transitioned into a really heavy sound, a really heavy tone. Good song, man. But like I said, if I give you one song, it'd be Black Lung. Black Lung is absolutely kick-ass. It's super catchy. You will be singing at the top of your lungs once you hear this chorus, man. It's very catchy, very much brings you in, and I really like these guys. Why I think these guys are kind of underrated, I don't think that they have like a large exposure, man. I think that they are kind of hitting their stride as musicians. You can definitely see the transition between their Cuts and Bruises EP to what they're doing now, man. A more polished, more finished sound, but also adding some different elements, like I said, with Making Eyes, electric pop sound, Black Lung, that more of a modern rock chorus, very catchy, awesome. Like I said, I just think that these guys, give them a little time and they will be off and running, I think. Okay, guys, my number 7 band is a band from Oklahoma City, and it's Misfortune, man. First heard these guys in 2015, but was put onto their 2014 album, A Spark to Believe, man. And these guys are like especially like their first record is more of like a post-hardcore meets an R&B-ish type feel. And you would later see this in their later works in EPs like How the Story Ends. Also, their latest album, their self-titled album that just recently dropped here in 2020. And, like, really the song that I listened to first was Chasing Ghosts, man. Once again, another catchy chorus, another beautiful singing, man. And these guys are a little bit more on the singier side, but do have some screaming elements. And I think that they use them at the right moments. Earlier this year, they dropped a really, really, really good single for for their self-titled record they just dropped, called Fentanyl. Super catchy, super stuck in my head when I first heard it, man. This is one of those bands that really relies on great songwriting. Their vocalist Mike Sawyer is absolutely amazing as a vocalist as well as a lyricist, man. And they do some great things vocally as well as music wise. One song I can give you to listen to is off their How It Ends EP 2018, sorry. And the song is Die For You. Very, very catchy. Another love songy kind of song. But it's really, really, really cool. Really good song. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit more detailed than the other ones. The reason why I think they're underrated is because, unfortunately, their vocalist, Mike Sawyer, was dragged through the mud for something that happened many years ago, where he was arrested for domestic violence, which is something, I don't condone, I don't overlook because someone is talented. But when you find out what exactly happened, might change your mind on what exactly people think when you hear the words domestic violence. So essentially what the situation was he was defending himself and his grandmother from a 40-year-old man who, from Mike's accounts, was abusing them. And unfortunately, someone had to go to jail, and I guess Mike was the one to go to jail, unfortunately. And it's really kind of sad because this is one of those things where, if I'm not mistaken, they were dropped from their record label when this happened. which was Sumerian, which, you know, obviously being on Sumerian's one of those record labels along the lines of Rise, that are really prominent in the, you know, metal post-hardcore scene, so on and so forth. And unfortunately, I think that Mark may be still carried on Mike, even though this information is readily available. You can actually Google this shit and you'll find out. But it just sounds like a really, really bad situation, and I'm all about standing up for something, and I think it kind of sucks because it might be taking away from the fact that this band is really, really, really good. Also on top of that too, I think they were kind of finally starting to pick up steam, but of course, you know, the world is the way that it is right now, and unfortunately, I think it's hindered a lot of band success at this current moment. So my number 6 band is my homeboys from Jacksonville, Florida. No explanation needed. Psych, just kidding. I'm going to tell you anyways. It's Young Ghost from Jacksonville, Florida, man. And I was first put onto these guys by my boy Kyle, who's been on my show before. And it was their 2016 song Lightbringer, which was absolutely a fucking banger with the original vocalist Adam. And then the next thing I heard was their first single off their self-titled 2016 EP, Fiends. Absolutely amazing song. If I'm not mistaken, Matt from Our Last Night is on that song. Absolutely kicks ass. You know, songs like Past Haunt, Fatherless, which is absolutely awesome. After that, they kind of transitioned into more of just releasing singles. Songs like Hollow God, Faded, which has almost close to 400,000 plays on their Spotify right now. Songs like Relapse, man. And these guys are an awesome fucking blend of just so many things that I enjoy about bands. Catchy choruses, really strong vocals, really strong lyrics that say something to you or make you think about what you're listening to. Like I said, these are my homeboys, but I feel like they're underrated for the simple reason that they don't have enough exposure. They're not on tour like everyone else, but I don't know, man, just something about their talent, the way they put everything into what they do. Every single feels like a major release. It comes with a video, it comes with merch, it comes with a lot of things, and these guys put a lot of time and dedication into what they do. So for me, this is just one of those bands that is, I believe that their passion is so strong that it just boggles my mind why more people aren't onto these guys, why more record labels aren't onto these guys, which I know record labels aren't the be all end all these days, but these guys right here just speak to me personally, not just because they're my friends, but because they are great musicians and they have a great vocalist who is an absolute beast of a lyricist. Now, if I could give you one song to listen to from them, they may agree or disagree, but the song Desolate is so fucking awesome. Amazing breakdown, super catchy chorus. And it's just kick-ass. So fucking kick-ass. Love these guys. Much respect to these guys. And hopefully one day I can talk about bands that blew up. And this is one of those bands, man, because they are just so fucking talented. It just amazes me. So my number 5 band is another group of friends, acquaintances, if you will, from Valdosta, Georgia. The Boys' Second Death, man. And I was first put on to these dudes in 2016 with their single Self-Portrait, man. Seriously, one of those bands that I put in that same group of like the Acacia Strain. They have so much raw violence in their music, man. And one of, like, if you meet these guys, they're the nicest guys in the fucking world, and you're just blown away by how much violence and just frustration comes out of what they play, man. And it's awesome, man. especially like their 2017 EP, Casket, songs like Claim Culture, Self Portrait, man, awesome songs. Their mini EP, Dirt Nap, in 2019, songs like Keeping It Real are absolutely fucking amazing. They just just dropped, 2 singles recently entitled Sun and Waste, which is absolutely kick-ass. Just got around to listening to it. It's super, super fucking real. And if I can give you one song to listen to, it is definitely Keep It Real. For fucking real. Like, seriously, man. Just one of those bands, like I said, just pure violence, pure rage. Nicest guys in the fucking world you'll ever meet after the set. Why I think they're underrated is because I don't think they're everyone's style of metalcore, deathcore, whatever you want to group these guys into. I just don't think that they're for everybody, but they tour out the ass. They do amazing things, man. And I know before, the world turned to shit, these guys were putting in some heavy tours from Florida all the way up to New York, man. They were putting in some work, man, and was trying to hopefully get them to come out to the Mass, Connecticut area to see these guys kick some ass, man. So Second Death, man, love those guys. All right, man, my number 4 band is a band from the UK, and they're called Dream State, man. This is a female-fronted band, man. I heard these guys last year, 2019, with their first single, Primrose, which was absolutely a fucking kick-ass song. Now, these guys, I would have to say, are probably a little more different than a lot of bands on this list. They're more of like an electro pop, kind of in that Halsey type vein, but somehow have breakdowns and pretty good screaming, man, and some really great lyrics, man. Their vocalist is absolutely a great singer. She'll have you catchy singing to their songs. Great lyricist. She definitely is very good in the descriptor area and telling you pain and suffering and all that stuff. But also at the same time, they have a lot of uplifting songs that are really like truly kick ass. Their 2019 album Primrose Path, Spittin' Lies, Made Up Smile, man, kick ass songs, man. And if I had to give you one song to listen to, it would be Primrose. For the simple fact, like I said, man, just very poppy, unassuming. When you hear this song, you're like, this is kind of a poppy rock song. Okay, cool, I can vibe with it. And then the breakdown hits, and you are just like, how am I listening to the same song? Really, really cool. So why I think they're underrated? I think this has to do with the fact that not a lot of plays in the U.S., man. I know that they're very big and large and in charge where they come from, man. They've played some, pretty big festivals, man, with some legit bands. So I think, maybe if they, when the world gets right again, they could come to the U.S., and I definitely think they'll be one of those bands that stands top tier for the simple fact is, like I said, they're mixing that, poppy sound, with great lyrics, with great metal riffs, just awesome stuff, man. So my number 3 band, man, is a band from Vancouver Island, Canada. I was about to say Connecticut there. I don't know why. It's one of those days. It's Spirit Box. And I first heard them in 2020, this year. And the first song I heard was Blessed Be, man. And as soon as I heard this song, I wanted to know everything about this band. I wanted to listen to everything that they've ever put out, man. I wanted to just consume myself with this band, and this band just was like everything. They had a self-titled EP that dropped in 2017, which is absolutely kick-ass. Songs like Rule of Nines, which dropped in 2019. Great video visuals, great, awesome, kick-ass fucking singing, screaming. The Rule of Nines kind of comes off almost like a new metal song. This sounded like this would have came off of like that early 2000s new metal sound, but it has some really, really great music, written really well. If I, their recent single Holy Roller, which came out in 2020, has a sick ass fucking video. And if you're a horror fan like I am, you will know that a lot of that video is inspired by a Midsommar, which is a totally fucked horror movie. My wife wants to rewatch it. I don't know why, but we'll probably end up watching it again. And the way that they put the song together, the way that they put the visuals together, man, there was a lot of great things that they did, man. So if I had one song for you to listen to, it would be Holy Roller. It's a kick-ass fucking song. It's heavy. It's short, sweet, but really catchy. Even has like some techno breaks in it. Kind of fucking cool. Watch the fucking music video. It is absolutely a visually stunning masterpiece. They did a great fucking job, especially capturing the vibe of Midsommar, which was absolutely amazing. If you want to see something fucked up, go watch that movie. All right, guys. So I have a number 2 band and a number 1 band. But before I get there, because I've already messed up, I need to tell you why I thought Spirit Box is underrated. The reason why I think Spirit Box is underrated is because I feel like there's not enough exposure for these guys, man. I need them to have way more exposures. I think that they are doing the right things, especially with the way COVID is going right now and the horrible shit that it's turned the world into. I think they're maximizing their audience, and hopefully when this is all said and done, there is an appetite for these guys to tour just about anywhere anyone has heard any of their songs. You know what I'm saying? So yes. Anyways, back to what I was originally about to do before I screwed everything up. My number 2 is a band that I absolutely love to death. And it's Dayseeker, from California, man. These guys have been in my life for a very, very long time. How long? I can actually give you the day the first time I heard Dayseeker, and it was November 29th, 2012, when they dropped their first video that I had seen for their song, What It Means to Be Defeated. At the time, I was going through some relationship turmoil, and this was the perfect fucking song to listen to at the time, man. It conveyed absolutely everything I felt in the moment, and it kind of just gravitated me towards this band. And a big reason why I gravitate towards this band is because this is one of those bands that I feel, and I'm sure some of you do feel, that there are certain bands that write songs and you sit back and you listen and you say to yourself, they're talking about me, even though I'm sure they're not talking about me. They're just going through similar shit that I went through. And I think truly that is why I absolutely love Dayseeker, because it seems like every time they put out a record, it's very emotionally fitting to whatever I am currently going through in my life, man. Seriously, one of those bands that I truly, truly admire and respect, man. They finally released an album in 2013, which was called What It Means to Be Defeated, which is absolutely amazing album. You know, songs like Collision and Survive, Hollow Shell, which is great, and Sleep in the Sea, which we now know is part 1 to Sleep in the Sea, which part 2 came out on their 2016 Origins album, which also had the song The Earth Will Turn, and mine and my wife's wedding song, Spotless Mind. And like I said, that's how much I'm connected to these guys. One of their songs is my wedding song. One of their songs spoke to me when I first heard it. And then songs like also off their 2016 album Origin, Never See the Sun Again, is the direct inspiration for the song Charlotte, my old band Misery Chord, which was recorded with me and Brandon. And like I said, you know, this band has been a constant inspiration for me. Now, why I think they're underrated, I think they were slowly starting to come out of that. They were playing massive tours. I know that they were on the Wage War EP tour, And then they were also about to be out on the We Came as Romans tour as well. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the 10th anniversary tour. Don't remember which album. Sure, someone will let me know. And like I said, I think this is one of those bands that just was starting to slowly get out of that. And they're, like I said, have touched me in so many different ways when it pertains to being an artist, when it pertains to listening to melodic music with a lot of passion. Rory Rodriguez is probably hands down one of my favorite vocalists. He has such a range. He has such a beautiful singing voice. He could probably sing, like Brandon says, the White Pages, and it would be the most amazing thing you've ever fucking heard in your life. So, number 2, Dayseeker. Now, my number 1 underrated band is a band from North Carolina that me and my good friend Nick Bailey were discussing, that they will not be respected until, unfortunately, they're either gone or, you know, they just stop putting out music, which means they're gone. Anyways, it's He Is Legend, man. And I first heard He Is Legend in 2004. And the first song I heard was the Sorry, guys. Like I said, it's just one of those days, man. It's one of those days where it's starting to fall off the rails. I'm getting to the end of this. The first song I heard was The Seduction, man. Catchy, singing, screaming, southern, metalcore, rock and roll, just so many good things, so many great things. Just like you came to the buffet, you had your plate ready, they had everything you wanted and prime rib, man. Seriously, He Is Legend is one of those bands, man, that does not get enough credit for being light years ahead of everyone in 2004. You know, like I said, their 2004 album, I Am Hollywood, followed up with their 2006 album, Suck Out the Poison, songs like Dixie Wolf, sounds like China White 2, Stampede, another fucking great song. And then you follow it up with the It Hates You 2009 album. When everyone thought that these guys were gone, they come back to you again. Then they hit you in 2014 with Heavy Fruit, which has kick-ass songs like Miserable Company, Be Easy, and then followed up with 2017's Few, which was, I don't know, it was a little weird, but still enjoyed the album. And then followed up with, I believe, their return to form with 2019's White Bat, which had so many great things. Talking Stalker, Bent, Uncanny Valley, so many great fucking songs, man. Like I said, and the reason why I think they're underrated and why they're not appreciated, man, is because I think they're just doing too many things so fucking well. Metalcore, southern, rock and roll, man. These guys are just so amazing. But I also think it's because they don't play by anybody's rules but their own when it comes to the sound. Because some people would say, hey, we'll stick to the rock thing and do the rock thing. Or, hey, stick to the southern thing and do the southern thing. Or, hey, do the metalcore thing. For them, it's a combination of just everything, and they do all of it so well together, man. Just absolutely amazing band. And, you know, I put them at number 1 for the simple fact is they've been around for so long, so many years. Literally 2004 was when their first record dropped, and I still feel like they don't get the recognition that they deserve for being so many years ahead of everyone and just doing something so amazing. Like I said, these are all my opinion, guys. You know, you guys can hit me up on the social medias, man. We can talk about your underrated bands. You can tell me why mine suck. You can tell me why I missed a band that you think is underrated. But also at the same time, man, let's just talk, man. Let's just talk music. Tell me, you know, like I said, you know, tell me what your underrated artists are, man. Who you don't feel get enough respect or get enough love, man. But, you know, like I said, this is, you know, everyone has an opinion, and you know, sometimes they suck. So if you're mad at my opinion on who I think is an underrated band, so be it. But thank you guys. I appreciate you guys listening, man. This is a little bit of a rough one for me because I had so many feelings, so many thoughts. But I still had fun doing this, man. It's so awesome to have this opportunity to talk with you guys, as well as, just to say thank you guys. We reached 1,000 downloads this week, man, and I truly, truly appreciate you guys supporting. 1,000 downloads was my year goal, and here it is about 30 something weeks into me doing this, and it seems like we've reached that number. So I'm so very thankful. I'm so very humble, and just keep listening, guys, man. And like I said, man, if you have a show idea, you have something you want to talk about, you want to be a guest on my show, man, hit me up. Podcast at Blue on Twitter. Blue Presents a Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Love you guys. Have a great week, man.